Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1950 Olivetti Lettera 22 vintage ultra portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Italy and one of the top typewriters of all time. And this is one of the earlier versions. This has the round keys, black of color, and the newer version has squared off keys with a darker gray color. Same with the knobs. And this one, an award for the best technology of the last 100 years, around 1957 or so, from the Institute of Technology of Chicago. So this was top of the line technology when this came out, and it still kind of is. It feels like a modern style typewriter. Up top are the margins. This is your left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 85 to 90, and that's a carriage release. Accidentally hit that. These are your paper support arms that flip up from the back. It's just so amazing how this was made over 70 years ago, and it's this just unbelievable technology from that time frame. All right, this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got two adjustable rollers. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, just flip that switch forward 1 notch. It skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. We're going to keep that on single, and I was able to type all the keys on one line because this has Elite typeface, prints 12 characters per inch, so it's a bit smaller than Pica, which prints 10. And this also comes in 11. I've only had one in 11, and that was a unique one with European symbols and an exclamation point. So typically this will come in either 10 or 12. All right, so on this next line, I'm just going to print a sentence. I'm not sure if I'm on the correct line, but I'm going to type it on the wherever I'm at. Maybe I'll just skip one more. To switch from black to red, there's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. It's got a light touch, but not as light as the 32. It's more cushioned when you press the keys. The 32 is basically just the wild, wild west. You barely touch it and it just prints. So that's your Elite typeface. Looks really good. Elite number 7, I believe, is what is printed on the slugs. A really nice print. Excellent condition all around. It's a beautiful typewriter. It's about as good as it gets when it comes to something 70 plus years old. To pull the page out easier, there's a switch on the right side. Flip that forward. It unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier. A little thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Going to flip these down for now and put the color back on black. Got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This button here, the blank one, is your margin release. A lot of people might mistake that for the 1 key and feel like maybe they got ripped off. But nope, that's the margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It does allow you to get past that block and type all the way to the end. Traditional typewriters, the 1 key is the lowercase l, and the exclamation point is a shift 8, which is the apostrophe, and then you backspace it in period. And that's traditional. Olivetti kept it that way pretty much entire, even on their newer models. So this pops up from the front and hooks into the back. You want to be careful. This is cast iron. It will break. So if you try to force that off, it could break. I've seen those break. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right clockwise. If you want to switch that direction manually, the side you want it to go to, there's either side there's a ribbon guide. I believe that's called a ribbon guide. Just flip it towards the middle, and this is actually threaded wrong. It's supposed to go around that and through there. There we go. So the side you want it to go to, you just flip the ribbon guide towards the middle. It's a ribbon shifter. Shift it towards the middle, and we want it to come to this right side. And it's meant to automatically reverse when it catches the eyelet, which is a metal piece on the end of the ribbon. It will catch on that and swap it automatically to the side it needs to go to indefinitely. This is your touch control, very important on this model with the light touch. This increases the tension on your touch control on your keys. So the farther down, there's a 1, 2, 3, and 4. The more tension there is when you hit the keys, you do have to hit the keys harder for them to print, but they respond faster. Some of them have it right here, and it's just like a little, and you can't really tell what it is, but it's the same concept. It just loads a spring under there, and some of them are on the right side up here. Traditionally, Olivetti's have them on the left side, right there on the side panel. So we're going to hook this in from the back and snap it down like that. Carriage release on both sides. And this rides on a rail, so it's a little bit different of a feel than the 32, because the 32 rides on bearings. So this has a rail that it rides on. This and it just rides on 3 travelers. That it so it I actually like it. It feels more like a traditional typewriter. I believe the studio models have the same setup. Very smooth. If you push the button on the end of this knob, it disables the spacing, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. The same concept when you flip the line space selector all the way back to 0, it disables the spacing. Flip it to the 1, you get the clicks. You just want to be careful when you do that because you'll lose your line. And this knob here is 3D printed. Let's get a better view of that. It's pretty good. It's actually really good condition. So those break off because either when they're being shipped, they bang into something, or when you're removing the platen can be super stuck, and you got to sometimes use pliers, and you should technically use a wrench inside here, but some people might use pliers and grind that down or break that knob. So there's a 3D printed knob on this, and it's pretty much exactly the same as the original, but it's not the original, but it's like the same design. I designed that myself. Also, I have 3D printed foot mounts on here, brand new. So if you need those replacements, check out my shop. I have them available on eBay or Etsy. Same with this typewriter. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.